Yeah, so people that are looking here, I see like Tina's wondering like what the hell we're doing right now. So this is just a members only live, and it's just behind the scenes. We're gonna watch the episode for the first time, and if you're interested, you can watch how we make the reaction videos that we make each week. That may not be interesting to anybody, but that's all that we're doing.
Yeah, we're just giving you behind the scenes of how we do it.
You're shedding virus on me right now.
I love you.
In this episode, we're gonna have our chairs further apart. Allison's sick.
So I'm gonna have to prove that it was really kind of our joint funds that paid the bulk of the property. And therefore, we should be entitled to split it 4 ways.
I feel like Meri should be aligning with Janelle so hard right now because Janelle has all the ledgers of how they did the finances. Meri just like willy-nilly gave her money away, but Janelle was integrally involved. So she needs to put the past in the past.
I don't understand what Meri's beef with Janelle is. Like, I don't get why those two. I understand that there's something going on with McKelty and Meri, right? McKelty feels like Meri was abusive. So I get why there might be a weird relationship, but I don't understand what Janelle's friction is.
You forgot like the whole history. Janelle and Meri like never liked each other. Meri was envious of Janelle coming into the family, and like Kody, I mean, even he says it so often, like we just had this intellectual connection, Janelle and Kody did. And I think Meri was always jealous of that. Plus, I think Meri is a perfectionist and a bully in the kitchen, and Janelle is less of that. So, like, Meri wants her kitchen a certain way and would bully Janelle.
You know who I wouldn't bully?
Janelle.
She'd be the last one that I would bully. I feel like you're...
And I don't know why the land pieces were titled exactly the way they were. It made sense that Kody was on all of them because that's how we've kind of always done that, because he's kind of the unifying factor.
Always thought it was weird that the land was divided unequally, and like no one fought about that, or at least on the show they didn't fight about it. And it's weird that they're not on each piece of land. It was never even.
What's weird to me is that when Kody was like walking around with the real estate agent and he was talking about how he was dividing it up, and he was like, I paid for one of them outright, and then the wives paid for the other ones. But somehow he got himself named on every single wife's property, and he's acting as though that was all of their money. But when he bought his outright, that wasn't all of their money.
That's a good point. That's so right? Like his money is his money. Their money is our money.
Yeah.
So when David had the idea of doing the shrimp room, I was like, yes.
It came from an animated movie, and it was really cute.
What? He's going to have a shrimp room? I missed this.
Is it shrimp on like the wallpaper, or like just they're just going to have coolers of shrimp all the time?
I don't know.
The state of Utah.
About 11 miles in, I get this light flashing on Kody's car. You could see where the tire had just come off the rim.
I'm afraid that we might have shot this thing.
The two, like, he has 18 kids and he has a 2-person car. It really bothers me about him.
But
all the wives have to have a big car, and he gets to have his little sports car. It's obnoxious.
You want me to drive around in a big yellow bus?
No, but like enough to carry like at least one family around. Like he never intends to carry one family around. It's gross.
Before he was dad to me, he was Uncle Paul. He came to my mom's house on the weekends and was in Las Vegas with my other mom during the week.
She was the only wife that had a really hard time and did not want to leave Vegas. All the other wives were like aligned and leaving, and she did not. And it makes sense if her parents lived there.
Oh, this was before my time with Sister Wives.
Not a super fan.
If we're on the same page, I think it actually makes our case stronger, for both of us.
Yeah.
So I think it's time.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Get out of your way.
I think they all need some stabilizing force. They all could use talking to somebody. You know what would be helpful for that?
BetterHelp?
The sponsor for today's video, BetterHelp. I'm so happy BetterHelp is sponsoring this video. I have worked with them for over a year now because I really believe in the platform. You know, I think the start of a new year is a really good time to consider therapy. There is this massive push to be a better you. There's this massive push to, have 100 different New Year's resolutions. And there's pressure that comes with that, which therapy can help you work through. But also there is the implication that if you're not doing all of those things, that you are stagnating, that your life has stalled, that you're not being effective. And I think a therapist can also be really helpful in processing those emotions. That means working through what your personal values are versus what the external expectations are. That means helping you identify a clear timeline, a personalized timeline that can help you pursue your goals. It also means working through your own negative comparisons, working through your own insecurities. If those things seem valuable or important to you, I really recommend you try out BetterHelp. It's an online platform that supports video therapy, phone therapy, even text therapy. It's super easy to get started. All you do is complete an online survey, and BetterHelp will match you with a therapist that meets your specific needs. They have a range of over 30,000 therapists with different specialties and backgrounds. They make sure that their therapists are well qualified, and they have a customer support team available if you have any questions. And I think one of the best strengths of the platform is if you feel like you aren't a good fit with your therapist, free of charge, BetterHelp will find you another therapist to work with. Everything is designed to move smoothly and efficiently. Now, here's the best part. Because you are a valued member of the PopPsych YouTube audience, BetterHelp is offering a 10% discount on your first month. All you have to do is click the link below in the description or go to betterhelp.com/PopPsych. I really recommend you try it out.
When we all lived in one house, you just slammed the doors. It's like,
wow, Janelle.
I'm thinking, well, you might just be like, well, nobody can come over and use my part of the pond.
Meri must have been tough if Janelle's inserting herself that way to stop people from, you know what I mean? It bothered Janelle enough that she would intervene. And Christine felt that way. So there is like tangible evidence that Meri was difficult.
Yeah. I feel like they got wrapped around the axle of the pond, though. I just envision a lot of larvae in there and like mosquitoes.
That's a good point. That thing would be the worst for that reason, just stagnant water.
Oh, yeah. Like you don't want your house near that.
I think it's time for somebody to be pushing my interest. I probably will get a lawyer. In fact, I've been talking to one. I hope you feel like that for you too.
What's crazy about it though is that, well, I don't know. Maybe in the chat, does anybody know how much that property costs? Like, what did they buy it for? Is it $2 million or is it $500,000?
I don't follow it, but it's.
But you would imagine that if you have Meri getting an attorney, you have Janelle getting an attorney, you have Kody and Robyn getting an attorney, that's going to be so expensive. Versus if the three groups of them just sat down and had a conversation, like this does not seem like a super difficult thing to split up.
Oh my gosh, under $1 million.
It's under $1 million.
Yeah, they're gonna lose a lot of money to lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunate, Kody. It's Kody's fault. Everything's Kody's fault.
Okay, you have to look at me. I'm just realizing now that you're talking this whole time at the chat.
No, okay.
And I'm talking to you, and you're like this. You're like, yeah, that's crazy. Oh, look.
No, I was just saying.
Tina's funny.
It was Kody.
Okay,
I was just saying it was Kody's fault.
It is, but it's a lot of. This is an expensive mistake for them not to be able to get together. For everybody, it's going to hurt all of them.
We didn't pay for Coyote Pass all equally. I paid for an entire lot all by myself, at least 92% of it. The rest of the property we all chipped in.
What is he talking about?
What do you mean? Why?
Why is his money and their money is like, it really bothers me. Like, so the women are forced to pay for their kids by themselves and his money is his money?
Yeah.
It's just his seed everywhere? He bugs.
Yeah, I agree with you.
He bugs so much.
I 100% agree. It's wild. I mean, it really is it's a wild world he lives in. But I do think that they, I mean, I guess it's a cultural thing, but they allowed it. Like that, they wanted that.
I just feel like there was a lot, like a lack of transparency about what was really happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Meri has said it. Like, he always like kind of worked it out somehow.
So to me, it feels like Kody has kind of two speeds. Like either he's ignoring me when I ask about the property, or all of a sudden he's really gung-ho, which always makes me like, why?
What do you think? You think Kody's up to no good? Do you think he's he's being devious right now?
Yes.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
I do. I think he's always like trying to maneuver people.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I think he gets energized by if he feels like he's maneuvering.
Oh, you think he gets off on it?
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I for some reason, and I know that I guess I'm wrong about this, but I feel like the fact that there are so many, I mean, if you just think about Reddit, the number of like super sleuths that are evaluating him in this process, like he's going to be held accountable differently than if no one, you know what I mean? I think if the cameras weren't on him, he'd be more deviant, but it's going to be harder for him to be deviant with TLC's got cameras in his face.
But he doesn't care. He really doesn't care. Look what he says on camera.
That's true. That is true. He does say some ridiculous things on camera.
He like is so impulsive. Like
Mhm.
he doesn't think about the consequences of his actions.
Mhm.
He's like emotional and impulsive
Mm-hmm.
and has no understanding of his own emotions in the moment.
Like, could you and I like meet and have a conversation with him? Do we want to do that?
I don't know, Meri, because I don't think it's going to do any.
Crazy. They should definitely meet with Kody. It's going to cost so much. Doing it this way, like if they go nuclear on him, it's going to cost them so much money. It's a mistake. They should work to figure it out.
I would meet at a title house and just be like, this is where we're meeting in Flagstaff. And then just put our names on the title. And just be like, if we're all allowed to be on the title, let's go to the title company, all sit down together and handle it and move on. Is that allowed?
Worth having a conversation with them.
I mean, my honest opinion is if I were Kody, I would not go there.
Why? When
I would say, why are you, I wouldn't be like, oh, well, how did I end up at the title house? I would think
but like, if he's saying, if he's being honest, as he said in there, like they could do it, then do it. Then
yeah. I mean, I guess I agree with you. I just think he wouldn't go.
I remember in Vegas wanting so bad to have something like this. But I think that there was just so many things happening with the kids all the time. That's really where my focus was.
I just think it's a good lesson to know your finances as women. Like, I do feel like we have to wear so many hats all the time as women. And this is a good lesson, I think, for all women. We have to know. You can't just let somebody else do it.
Robbins has way too many rules. You'd have to knock on the door and wait for like someone to come to the door and answer it.
What I kind of asked everybody to do was like do an announcement knock.
The Robyn's rule of knock before you enter my house seems reasonable.
I think it's because, like, I agree. I would also want people to knock.
Yeah.
But it like takes the familiarity. Then they're more like neighbors versus family.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, if it was her kids, they wouldn't knock. They'd just walk in.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what. Anyway, can you go?
But do you knock when you go visit your parents' house?
Did you think when my parents lived here, did they?
No, they didn't. But if you don't live in our house, you should knock where you enter it.
I know, but I think they all wanted to live. I mean, it's because they all wanted to live in the house, Dave. I think you're missing the point. If they were neighbors, yes. But if she was really saying that McKelty was her kid, then they wouldn't have to knock.
But McKelty didn't live in her house. So if McKelty's going to go over to another person's house, even if it's her mom, if your mom lived next door, you wouldn't just walk into her house. You would knock.
No, probably not.
There's 2 rooms upstairs.
Is it the color of shrimp? I don't know. And then the giraffe room, I'm like, spots, giraffes, I don't know.
I feel like I can really relate to Janelle. Janelle's take on things, I feel like oftentimes lines up with mine. Oh, you're doing a
shrimp?
A shrimp and giraffe room. Ooh. That'll look good.
Let them.
Allison's reading the Let Them theory right now. If you're curious why she keeps bringing up Let Them.
Well, we're having a book club about that on Shrink Wrapped. So if you're going to join the book club, we are reading Let Them, and that is going to be live this week. Okay.
Thursday, right?
Yeah. You better get on it.
I've been chasing all over the place, and it was here.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
I think I do construction like Kody. Right. I get in a mode and you just get out of the way.
Yeah. And because I try to help. Like, I do feel like having another pair of eyes. Okay, we do escape rooms. We just did an escape room yesterday, and in the last 2 weeks, we've done an escape room. And I feel like my husband and my oldest son they bulldoze everybody else.
We're on a clock.
I know, but you guys like don't let other people think. Like, once I grab something, it's immediately taken out of my hands. Like, I grabbed the key, the first key that opened the first thing, and immediately it was out of my hands.
Well, there's not the sense of urgency that there needs to be. Like you got that binder, and you're like,
David, just going fast doesn't mean you're getting the answers right. I feel like over and over again, we've proven that with you.
We have not proven
yes,
that. We've not proven it over and over.
With David, it includes me more. It was more fun with David.
But hold on. But David is a builder.
Yeah.
For 40 years, he's on a drywall company. So I think the IKEA furniture is not a big deal for David. Whereas for Kody, it could be a little bit of a stretch.
And for this, David?
If they would just drill the holes correctly.
David, you never read the instructions. Like, I'm thinking about our lamps right now. Like, where are the instructions? Both of them cannot not work.
They work perfectly, and I assembled them very efficiently. Thank you.
I actually have a supplier that can supply within 2 weeks an apron.
With the logo?
Whatever we want.
See, that's a good marketing piece.
No wonder, look at Christine's face.
I know. Poor Christine. I don't want a crappy t-shirt.
Look at all the
an apron. Now that's classy.
But look at all the people that bought Don't Robin's plain shirts. And I think Janelle, I bet Janelle would want to steal that because she is doing a lot of t-shirts with her.
Janelle's are good.
Yeah.
Janelle's are good.
I'm sending this to Dad. I'll be so proud of you. So I learned how to be
He's such a dick. How could you let your daughter go to that? And
don't worry, he made
That's
sure to go to
crazy.
his other daughter's ear piercing.
That is just, it's just wild to me.
Also knowing that Meri and Janelle want to sell it. It's not fair to Meri and Janelle, and that's not my intention, is to be unfair. My intention is just to not deal with it.
It's a wild intention. I know it's not fair. It's not my intention to be unfair, but it is to just ignore them and not deal with it while I have the land.
Does it ever make you wish not want to have kids?
Makes me want to be smart about how many kids I have.
I think, hang in there. You got 3 minutes left, okay? I can see you. I can just watch. You're just like this. We're almost done.
They want to see the behind the scenes of you telling me that.
Well, I think it's interesting that she said, I want to have kids, but I want to be smart with it. Because the implication is you've not been smart with how you've had kids.
Yeah. You had too many.
Yeah.
About this. And I'm like, all right, that's good.
So if you had 4 kids, your parent to child ratio with a husband would be 2 to 1. Okay?
Dad.
Thank you. But our family, 5 parents, 18 kids, our ratio was 3.5 to 1. Because your mom,
Kody wasn't present. All right. And then there's some people like, was it Janelle that had 6, or how many Meri and Janelle each had? What was the breakdown?
Christine and Janelle had 6.
Yeah. So that
Meri had 1.
Those were 6 to 1.
It's so many.
It was not 3, whatever he said, 3.5 to 1. He didn't partner with them.
the girls will decide for themselves. And I'm like as mixed about how many kids that they should have as I am about this property.
I'm curious what your reaction is to that, because in my world, he can have an interest in how many kids they have, but his interest or investment in how many kids his children have should not be the same level of investment that he has in a property. Like, Kody has the right to make a decision about this property.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the owners of the property. But he will not be one of the owners of his children's kids that he gets to weigh in on if they have 3 or 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's absurd.
Next time on Sister Wives.
All right, guys, people. Today is the day I'm going to move my stuff to North Carolina.
This season has gone at a glacial speed.
Oh my
This
gosh.
episode was not any faster.
Yeah.
Did you like it? What do you think?
No. Too much Robyn and Kody. Too much Coyote Pass.
Yeah. All right.
Too much Christine.
Well, you just named everybody.
I know.
You just want to do a spotlight on Janelle?
I think it's because I'm not feeling that good, and I didn't laugh enough during this episode.
Yeah. Okay. So do we have some administrative stuff for people?
Yes, we are doing a live book club on Thursday, and it is going to be Let Them by Mel Robbins.
And that will be on the Shrink Wrapped channel.
I do want to remind people about our members only. Like today, people got to see the behind the scenes of this episode.
Yeah, and they can let us know.
I'm sure it was riveting.
Like it took me a half an hour to get the stream up, but if you're interested, join the members only group. I think that's it. Thank you all for listening. Let us know in the comments below what you thought.